Hello, my friend. Welcome into your month ahead Pick a Card Tarot reading. It is so awesome to have you here with me. Welcome in or welcome back. I just want to take a moment to thank everyone as this channel saw 500 subscribers in the month of June. And I did a little special reading a couple of weeks back, or maybe a few weeks back now, where I offered a one-card reading for those who commented on that particular video. I want to thank everyone who participated in that. It was super fun, and it sounded like a lot of the one-card readings were resonating, so I am so glad that I was able to help you along your journey in the month of June in that way. I might do it again at some point in the near future, so stick around and keep your eyes peeled. Now, let's hop into it. If you are ready to jump into your reading, the timestamps and anything you want to know about me, my channel, or anything else about getting a tarot reading, you can find all of those links in the description box. Please do remember that my readings are here to offer you insight and not instruction. Please use your discernment and intuition to navigate your situation as you see fit. Take what resonates and leave what does not. And if you feel so inspired, comment and like the video if your reading resonates. It really helps me connect with your energy and let me know that you are enjoying the content on my channel. So for those who are still here and would like a close-up of the crystals today, let me introduce you to the soul paths right now. For soul path 1, we have the peacock ore. For soul path 2, we have the peach moonstone. And for soul path 3, we have the opalite stone. When you feel called and ready, hop on into the description box to click on the timestamp for your reading, and we'll see you over there. Hello, my dear soul path 1. Welcome into your reading today. You chose the peacock ore. I feel like there's some self-expression happening in the month of July. So you could be sharing your opinions, you could be sharing your artwork, you could be publishing something, maybe dressing differently in the month of July. Just overall, more self-expression is what I'm feeling for you. So we're going to get a card to open up your reading and then hop into your tarot. For soul path 1, please. Strongest, the waterfall. This to me feels like a lot of blessings. Now, this could also have to do with emotions as well. So there could be a lot of really happy, emotional, exciting things happening in the month of July for you. You could also be traveling or on some kind of vacation here. There's also something about cleansing, clearing, purifying. So you could be refreshing things in the month of July, whether that's cleaning up, cleaning out, a clean, fresh slate, a clean, fresh look. There's like a maturity or taking responsibility for actions here as a result of that cleanup. So there's a maturation happening. And there's also just an outpouring of maybe support, an outpouring of congratulations. So it's almost like you're being open to receiving compliments, receiving love, etc. There's just a lot of like open energy here with this. So let's hop into your tarot. For soul path 1, please, 3 cards for their month of July. Tell me what's going on, soul path 1. What's happening? Okay, way too many, my friends. So again, there could be a lot of things going on, a lot of things to choose from even. That's too many. I'll take this one though. We have the 5 of Wands in reverse with the 7 of Cups in reverse and the 10 of Wands. Okay, so I feel like you're going to have to choose something because there's a lot vying for your attention, a lot that's going to be really wanting you to choose. There's some choices here I feel you're going to be overwhelmed by. If you're going to do too much or choose too much, I really feel like there will be a waterfall of emotion, a possible overwhelm or a burnout here. So be really mindful, especially when it comes to work and the things that you're putting your energy behind and towards. Bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Wands in reverse, which indicates a lack of progress or some kind of delay as the underlying energy of the upcoming month. But before we get into that, let's take a look at your main tarot reading here. So in your current energy here, we have the Six of Wands. I always think this is the Five of Wands. Okay, so that's really interesting, something that's vying for your attention. But the Six of Wands in reverse is like really relying on yourself to feel validated, to feel valued. And it's almost like you're turning that validation inward in the month of July here. So you're no longer looking to other people to feel respected, to feel valued, to feel validated in some way, or to have your opinions, your actions confirmed by other people. I feel like you are really doing that for yourself. Now, I almost feel the biggest message that I feel when I'm looking at all three cards here is that there is, too much of a good thing is not necessarily a success. And we're seeing that with the Ten of Wands. So I really feel like in the past, at some point, you were really evaluating, what do I desire? What are my goals? What are my aspirations? What is my heart telling me to choose? You could have been moving through a lot of periods of choice where you had to kind of tap into that emotional center to really understand, is this truly what I desire, or is this something that I feel I should do? So that waterfall could be related to the Seven of Cups, where there was a bit of overwhelm of needing to choose something and not really understanding or knowing whether or not you wanted to choose something. So an overwhelm of choice, which really didn't feel like a success or isn't feeling like a success at this point in time. Or maybe you don't feel good enough to chase something at this time. So there could be some self-esteem that is going to be reviewed in the month of July. And really looking to yourself for that recognition for some kind of work that you're doing, maybe the effort you're putting in behind something. You're not getting the external reward for that yet. You're not getting the external validation that you are on the right track. And that could be a little bit of vulnerable energy here, because if you were a little wobbly on what you wanted to decide or choose, and you ended up choosing some things, then you're not quite sure maybe even what success looks like. So this is something that is going to be coming up in the month of July, where you're really feeling like, did I make the right decision? I'm not seeing the rewards yet. I'm not seeing the payoff. I'm not seeing any kind of praise from the external world or any kind of recognition from the external world. So should I keep going? I feel like if the decision was made from a heart-centered space, from a soul-led place, then I really feel like you've made the right decision to don't doubt yourself. But I think you're going to have to work really hard to see any kind of results here. I feel that there could be a potential for burnout. I think that there could be a potential of just choosing too much and overwhelming yourself, or doing too much to maybe prove yourself or to see results, see some kind of reward here. So there's going to be a lot of effort that you're putting forth in the month of July. And I don't think there's going to be any effort or energy for anything else, because we do have the Eight of Wands in the reverse position, which means delayed results and delayed rewards. And if you are traveling to any degree in the month of July, there could be some potential for delays there as well. This Eight of Wands could also be about having to review something first. So review where you're putting in your efforts and making sure that you are aligned and you are focused. Let's get some clarifiers. Let's do one more. Soul Path 1, let's clarify this Seven of Cups. Yeah, you've got some choices to make here, or you have made some choices and you're worried you're going to make the wrong one. There's also this sense that you have to make this choice on your own, that it can't come from anyone else. So all the more reason that it is quite difficult is that you're not getting that external confirmation that yes is the correct choice. There's this feeling of having to trust your heart and where you're being led, or there's potential for you to stay stagnant and not go anywhere. You might have to make a decision and be kind of the only one in that space, being in that discomfort for a little bit, so that you can kind of push through that wall to really follow your heart, follow and trust the decisions that you're making, so that you can eventually see results. 6 of Wands. We have the Wheel of Fortune with the King of Swords. Okay. So definitely there's going to be a change. There's going to be a change in some kind of dynamic here. And I feel that is how you are interacting with the world. So again, you're having to look within for that clarity, for that confirmation, for that decision making. You can't lean on anyone else for this decision or whatever it might be. And it's going to create external change once you make that decision. And I think whatever decision you do end up making is going to create ripples. And I think that's why there's a lack of, or there's a doubt here, there's a lack of confidence in the decision that you've made, is because things get foggy here in the middle of the month. Or maybe you're starting to feel this already, where you're not really sure what the next thing is or where you're being led. All you know is that you're leading with your heart and hope that it takes you to the place that you want to be in the end. So there could be a little bit of reactivity here, maybe even some miscommunications as well. What is this 10 of Wands? And maybe just an overall discomfort, because you are communicating with the world. You are showing up in the world a little bit differently here. And it is going to have, it's kind of like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And this is July, I think, is the step back. Because there are some changes that need to be made in the way you're doing something here. 10 of Wands, please. One more. Yeah. So we have the 8 of Pentacles in the reverse, and we have the Hierophant in reverse. This is a coming to terms to the work that needs to be done, and then we have the Hanged Man. So more delay energy here, but I think it's really going to help you align with putting your energy and effort into the right things and not have to overwork yourself or overchoose. But this is about kind of refining, and I get a maturation here with this as well, especially with the 10 of Wands. This is really understanding the things that you are carrying, the burdens, the responsibilities that might not even be yours. So it's almost like this 7 of Cups energy gets escalated in the actual actions that you're taking. And maybe you don't even know it until you come to a point of burnout and realize that you have to make new choices. You have to act in a different way. You have to prioritize things or master something here. And you have to do it in a way that's never been done before. So I think the month of July, I was going to say January, so this could have started in January, where you were starting to reflect on certain emotions that were coming up or certain emotional choices that you had to make at some point in the near future. July is this energy of seeing those emotional choices in action. However, there are some delays as there, I feel, some changes that need to be made in ways that need to be done differently. And the Hanged Man and the 8 of Wands both indicate significant delays in that process before the next thing happens, because you're recalibrating something here. You're refining, you are fine-tuning and making adjustments. And I feel that this is more of an internal process than it is something in the external. The actions are driving, but also being driven by the internal. So I think there's a bit of reflection that's happening month of July, and you are going to feel uncomfortable with this process because you do want to see progress, you do want to see rewards, but before that happens, there needs to be some internal shifts so that you are in alignment, so that you're not carrying too much weight in the future, and that you're seeing things from a different perspective even, because where you're going is going to require you to do something differently, to spend your time, energy, money differently, so that you can prevent this burnout energy or taking on too much that maybe is not yours to carry. So this really feels like some kind of internal glow up and review, so that you can move from a higher consciousness, especially when it comes to your actions. So we're going to get a final card or two. For Soul Path 1, final messages. What do they need to know for the month of July? What can they take away? What can support them for the month of July, please? Strongest energy. Okay. So there's something about destiny here, and we do see that in the Wheel of Fortune. So there's something about recalibrating you or redirecting you to some kind of destiny here with the Meant to Be card. So I feel like part of that message here is to not resist the changes, to not resist the delays, because there's purpose for that. There's meaning behind it. And then take a breath. But what was interesting is that this take a breath card was in reverse. So there's this energy of I want to go. And there's an energy of spinning my wheels. I don't want to take a break. I just want to keep going. So take pause in the month of July, even if you feel like that might be a little counterintuitive. There's a lot of pause energy at the bottom of the deck, so I feel like that's not something that you are acknowledging, but something that definitely needs to be done, because there's something here that you need to see that you're not seeing when you are in action. And I think it has something to do with that 10 of Wands energy. So taking a breath will allow you to see that and allow you to see where you are meant to be. Did not mean to rhyme, but that's a good note to end your reading on, Soul Path 1. These are the messages that I have for you. I do hope that they were helpful. You're welcome to share in the comments if this resonated. And until we meet again, stay curious, and I'll see you in your next reading. Hello, my Soul Path 2. Welcome into your reading. You chose the Peach Moonstone, and yes, I have blue fingers. I just noticed that now. I've been drawing, so I haven't drawn for pleasure or painted for pleasure in a very long time, and I've now just gotten back into it. I'm really enjoying myself. Maybe I'll share the stuff on the channel at some point in time, but let's get into your reading. I feel like that could be part of something where you were noticing something that you didn't see before, and it's something very new for you. This could also be something where you're reconnecting with something from your childhood. So there's a pleasure that you are indulging in the month of July. But let's get an opening card for your reading today, Soul Path 2. Soul Path 2. Strongest energy. It's definitely an excitable energy here. Very childlike energy. So we have two cards. We have the Sword and the Buffalo. I was gonna get one card, but we got two. So the Buffalo and the Sword. The Sword reminds me of the Ace of Swords. It's about clarity and seeing above and beyond the challenges, and the Buffalo being the strength and resilience card of really blowing through the challenges with a lot of clarity, with a lot of hope, with a lot of purpose, and a lot of confidence. This is very tough energy here. So I think whoever you are that I'm reading for today, there's a lot of strength and there's a lot of resilience, and you might not see that right now, but it's here. It's coming through in a very clear and powerful way. I also feel like there's an authenticity here. So it's you sharing your truth with great strength, feeling confident, enjoying what you do, respecting the process, and being maybe more consistent than you have in the past. So there's maybe a clear structure that you're following, or maybe a clear plan or a strategy, or just feeling clear more generally than you have previously. And there's also a sense of purpose here. So there's like a strength to follow your purpose, to follow your North Star, and to really take action in a very fair, maybe even neutral way. So you're not having a ton of emotion in whatever you are experiencing or moving towards. This is very, very clear, very logical, very cut and dry, very factual. And that's what's giving you that clarity, is that maybe peace of mind, or that logic, or something that you've learned, which gives you the strength and the confidence to move forward. So that's a really cool energy to start your reading. We'll see if or how it ties in with your tarot today. For Soul Path 2, we have the Peach Moonstone. You'll have to let me know in the comments if those opening energies resonated with you at all. For Soul Path 2, let's get 3 cards. What's going on, Soul Path 2 for July? Thank you, thank you. One more, please. Thank you. So we have the Five of Wands in reverse, we have the Knight of Coins in reverse, and we have the Queen of Swords. There's your sword. So I think that sword is not going to show up until the end of the month, and then we have the Death card in the upright as the underlying energy for the month. So there's definitely something transforming here. And I feel before that transformation happens, you have to step away from the noise, from the chaos, from the environment, or the way, the resistance that you're feeling. This is about you preserving your energy, especially at the start of the month. Now, Knight of Coins in reverse, this could be your current energy where you are stopping, you are slowing down, or you are taking a few steps back. You are having maybe even a setback, and you're no longer feeling, I don't know if there's, you're stepping out of the game is what I'm hearing, and I don't know what that means. The Five of Wands can be about competition. It can be about putting your energy and effort in to be seen, to be heard, to have your voice or opinion heard, but it's in the reverse. So there's a lack of that, or there's a resistance to that at this time. So you could lack energy, and that could be from something that you experienced in previous months. And then the Knight of Coins in reverse, which is a stopping to slow down, to reassess, to refocus. So something could have thrown you off a little bit, just like that squeaky toy is throwing me off in the background. One sec. Okay, we'll see if that helps. And the Queen of Swords, which is really lovely. This is an energy of really having patience to receive the information that you need to make decisions. So I think decisions will be coming in the following months, but I don't think there's going to be any decisions being made in the month of July. And for some reason, that sort of came through in the Soul Path 1. But yours is a very different reading. I feel like there's something that is slowly it either is decaying or has been on the decline for quite some time. So I think it's the month to really assess and reevaluate, starting to cut things loose, let things go, understand the lessons, understand where you would like to move to in the future. So this could be a job, this could be a business that you've built that is seeing a little bit of a slowdown. You don't have as many customers, you don't have as many tasks to do, so maybe you're growing bored with all of the free time that you're having. Maybe you don't feel valued because there is a lack of work, there's a lack of structure, a lack of focus. Where do we go from here? And you really get into an energy of, okay, I got to learn what's happening here. What do I need to do? Where do I need to go? Let's look at the stats. Let's look at the facts, the figures, and even what's truthful. You know, where do I want to take things? Do I want to continue to put my time and energy into this thing and see where it goes, or do I want to change directions? So I feel there's a lot of thinking going on in the month of July, because there is something that has decayed, that is no longer serving you, and that could be anything from a thought pattern to a way of acting, to even your time, money, resources, and how those are spent. So we'll see what happens in the clarifiers now. That might give us a little more information on what might be going on. I'm going to shuffle first, Soul Path 2. But I think you might know what this slow decay, slow death, transformation wants to come through. Maybe you're not acknowledging it at this time, but July might be a time to acknowledge that, okay, it's time to let this go or put this to bed, to open up to new things here. 5 of Wands. Okay. You no longer feel aligned with something that you're doing. That could be within a job or a business that you're running, and your direction, your purpose, your passion, your mission even is changing. I think you're reconnecting, and I did feel that inner child with that peach moonstone. And I was hearing giggling at the very beginning of the reading, and here's the child here. So for some of you, maybe a small portion of you, you're no longer working in the way that you have because you want to spend more time with your child. You want to be in a more playful energy. You don't want to take life so seriously. So this is you really connecting in with even your own inner child to have some kind of healing moment. Maybe this is something that was stirring up in previous months or previous weeks. I feel like July is going to be the month where you start to look at that, where you start to feel into that. And the only way to step into that playful, childlike energy and with your inner child is to step away from the noise, step away from the opinions and the shoulds, the woulds, the coulds, all of that. And that can be within self as well. What is this Knight of Coins? Why is it in reverse? Definitely you're getting realigned here. You're doing some kind of healing and you are rebalancing. Really showing up with a lot of patience. But again, I think your values are shifting here. With both of these kind of earthly energies in reverse, it's like you don't want to simply just push on by with work and spend all of your time working and maybe being in a very competitive field or being in a field that is very noisy. I feel like, and again, this mother energy is in reverse. So I really feel like that part of your life, the nurturing, the pleasure, the passion is being suppressed. And I think you're coming to realize that you need a better balance, a work-life balance, maybe a different lifestyle or a change in lifestyle to really restore yourself, to really feel fulfilled in doing that, to feel balanced. And that's going to take a little time and a little patience because you are shifting, restructuring, you're having a new insight about something here. And so it's going to take a little trial and error to figure out how to do that and what to do, really. But it's not getting too wrapped up in the emotions of the situation. It's about really understanding from a very factual and logical place what needs to change for the betterment of my health, for the betterment of spending more time with my family or what's important to me, and not having too many emotional attachments to what that answer is. So Queen of Swords, what is this? Queen of Swords, what is this, please? Thank you. One more. I think I saw the Death card, but I'm not quite sure. So definitely it could very well come to the surface with this Queen of Swords energy. 9 of Pentacles, yes, it's lovely, and the Devil at the bottom of the deck there. So I feel you've been hanging on to something pretty tight, and it to a detriment. But it is now time to release that thing, to face what it is you need to release here, and really create, it's interesting, a little more structure. So I did mention that with the sword and the buffalo, there's something about having a clear way forward, a clear path, a clear plan, so that you don't get distracted and so that you can transform something in the way that maybe the way you're showing up or the way you're doing or thinking. Now the Queen of Swords is paired with the 9 of Pentacles, the Hierophant, and the 8 of Wands here. So I really see that once you shift your perspective, the way you make decisions, or maybe even stop to understand something or learn something, I really feel you're going to understand something on a deeper level here, which could bring up a lot of old patterns of behavior, maybe some old vices as well. But you really want to get past that. I really see a lot of progress, because maybe you're seeing what you're truly worth. Maybe you're seeing your values a little more clearly here. You're spending more time doing the things that you enjoy, and really spending time enjoying the fruits of your labor here. And that's going to really move you forward. There's something about new routines or rituals that I feel you're going to implement to be able to give your life structure and a clear way forward. So there could be some new practices that you start implementing. There could be some spirituality that you're going to start implementing as well. And I really see a lot of progress being made on whatever this transition or transformation is happening here. Again, I do feel like this is a little bit of a death of old habits, a death of old patterns, even death of unhealthy connections, whether that is to how you work or it could be with relationships as well. But I do see this more as something that you do in action, or how you spend your time, energy, or money that is shifting here. There's something that is a little off balance or a little disconnected, and you are reconnecting with something to find a little more clarity on the way forward and kind of power through whatever you're trying to power through here, whatever you're trying to transmute and put to bed or send away or metaphorically bury for good. So let's get a couple of final cards to end your reading here. I really think that you're going to realign yourself here. Reconnect to realign is the feeling that I'm getting with this one. And I think you're going to clear up or tie up some loose ends. Soul Path 2. There you go. Final messages for Soul Path 2, please. And the Death card is here with the transformation and patience. So I did mention that because, it looks like you're coming in with patience. I don't think you'll have much choice. So this could be a very good practice in patience here, the month of July, but that's because something is transforming. Something needs to be transformed. And the only way to do that is to really step back and to not proceed into the next thing until you have a little more clarity. So it's about taking this devil energy and turning it into the star, or turning it into the lovers, to have a more healthy balance or a healthy attachment to something so that you can see more progress towards the rewards or the success that you would like to see in your life. So these are the messages I have for you, my dear Soul Path 2. I hope they were helpful. You can comment below and let me know if they were. And until we meet again, stay curious, and I'll see you in your next reading. Hello, Soul Path 3. Welcome into your reading. You chose the opalite stone. Something about emotions coming through. I'm seeing the Moon card, but I'm also seeing the Ace of Cups. So it could be a lot of emotional things happening in the month of July. We will see. But I think there's almost like a clearing. Happy tears. Let's see, Soul Path 3, opening reading, or opening messages here. The Candle and the Angel. So there's something here to me about protection is kind of the first feeling that I'm getting, and protecting your truth, protecting your light, of really being a harbinger of that truth and that authenticity, of really showing up to shine your light but also protect yourself as well. So it's kind of like feeling safe within your own light, feeling safe sharing and being vulnerable because you know you have your back. There's a real strength, an inner strength that's coming through with this. But also I'm getting that somebody's having a birthday as well. So that's happy birthday if July is a month where you're celebrating a birthday. And angels could be, a sign or a point of guidance for you. You could also be connecting in with your intuition a little more in the month of July. Candle gazing is something that I'm getting with the candle card. Maybe wanting to connect in with your spirit guides or your angels. So there could be some, some third eye or crown chakra activity happening. You could start feeling or seeing visions, not to take it to a scary place or anything, but your psychic abilities, I feel, might be heightened in the month of July. So let's see. We have the World and the Magician. One more. And we have the Three of Swords. Okay. With the Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck. So there is some change that I feel you might be resisting, but I think underneath you feel like it's going to clear the way for something bigger and better. It's just very challenging to move on from, is the sense that I'm getting. There's like something you're either going to learn or understand in the month of July, and you're going to start to process that a little bit. Because I feel you want to create something different, or you want to create a different experience or have a different experience, but you can't do that until something is let go of or something is processed or understood. There's some kind of heart of the matter or truth of the matter coming to the surface here. And I think that underneath you might be feeling that something needs to shift, something needs to change. There's something about coming full circle as well. So I'm getting like something returns in the month of July for you to process and let go of it. Usually I have a lot to say about this first opening sequence of cards, but I don't have a lot to say, much more to say. It's like, yeah, there's something that's returning. There's something that needs to be looked at. Maybe there is a resistance to seeing the bigger picture beyond the heartache, the heartbreak, the things that you have experienced, but in the upcoming month, I think you might start to really look at that, because you do want something better. I think you want to feel a certain way. You want to create from a different space. You do want to see change, but change isn't necessarily always easy. So that's the difficulty, is that maybe you want change, but the change comes with some pain. So there's a little bit of challenge there. And I think the challenge too is seeing beyond this thing. This is maybe why the angel card came out, is that the angels are acknowledging, if that's your thing, that they are with you on this journey. I feel like it's a big, significant journey for you that you've been on, where you are starting new chapters or would like to start new chapters, start fresh, have a new beginning. Maybe you've lost some hope on this journey as well. What is this World card in reverse? Let's get some more information for you. Soul Path 3. And I think clarity is going to come in the form of truth. It might be a painful truth, but it is a truth here. Star card in reverse with the Knight of Cups in reverse. What is this Magician in reverse, please? Okay. And the Three of Swords, please. I feel like you won't be able to create much in the month of July. It's like you want to create some things, but things are a little unsteady at this time. So it's almost like that creation energy and the things that you want to do, the things that you want to create for your life it's like you're pushing a rock up a hill. It just feels like really tough effort right now, because I think your focus is elsewhere. Now, with the Star card and the Knight of Cups, I feel like this World card has something to do with an opportunity to heal. Now, this could be in relation to a love relationship or romantic relationship, or something that you have passionately pursued in the external world. So something that you have followed with your heart that it's difficult to let go of. Could have something to do with something that you've healed or something that you need to heal, maybe moving towards your purpose, finding your passion, really kind of igniting that inspiration. So that could be what's happening here. And then the 5 of Wands in the upright, the Knight of Swords in reverse. Yeah, there's just a lack of clarity of how do I go about doing this? I want to create this thing. I want to follow my heart. This could very well be a business, but it could also be how you navigate the world as well. Maybe how you navigate relationships. I feel like there's whatever this is that you want to create, I feel like there's a lot of things to do. And all of these things are competing for your energy. So you're not really sure what to prioritize, where to start first, what decisions you need to make. It just feels like everything all at once. So there's a little bit of rough energy that comes in, which you could be currently dealing with. And this world in reverse is something that is in your past, but is kind of being addressed now. And I think that's the cluttered energy or the chaotic energy that I'm feeling, which is preventing you from moving forward on whatever it is that you want to manifest for your life. Because what do you do? Where do you go? Where do you start first? Where do you put your intention and your actions? So there could be you responding to things rather than making really aligned, intentional decisions or really clear decisions. It's like there's a lot of things for you to decide on all at once. So yeah, it's just taking a lot of your time to sift through, okay, what's next? What's first, you know? Now, Justice in reverse and the Hierophant in reverse with this 3 of Swords. I think, yeah, it's like one of those things that you're processing some kind of heartache. You're processing some kind of emotional loss, or it's like you came to a crossroads and made a decision or will make a decision that is quite painful, and it doesn't feel fair, but it's like you have to do it anyways. And I think it's always been there, but you had to kind of work through some things first. You had to make some bigger decisions or prioritize something or really understand where you wanted to go and what you wanted to do first and how will you manifest. So the end of the month, I feel like you're really facing that, kind of the outfall of the decision that was made, and that can come with pain, with heartache, with maybe even some anger as well. But it is part of the growth here. And whatever it is that you're moving towards, it is the change that you seek, is through the difficulty, through the challenge. And it does not feel fair. Whatever decision was made, whatever happens as a result of this energy, where things are stirred up and it becomes clear of what choice you need to do. It's different than what you've done in the past. It's going to shake up your routines, maybe some of your traditions, or even rituals that you have in place. It's going to make you feel a little off balance and maybe even doubt your decisions. But with the 8 of Swords at the bottom of the deck, I feel like you could have relieved yourself from being stuck. And I don't think you see that yet, and I don't think you know that yet. Because the month of July feels a little bit messy, and all you have in this month, it feels like the candle. And that's kind of the flame has died a little bit, or it is dim, but it's still there. It's still burning. And I'm just seeing flames here. 2 flames, actually. And you started with 1. So there's something being paired back. Maybe there's 2 people that decide to split because you want to create something new for your lives. You've grown apart. And that's a difficult decision. I feel like this decision was very conscientious. It was very in your awareness, each other's awareness. So this, I think, will relieve you from feeling stuck and preventing or resisting some kind of change that you would like to see in your life. Yeah, it kind of is a sucky situation. But it feels like the correct one just because of the Knight of Cups is here. And the star in reverse is here. That indicates that some kind of healing has been done, or maybe it's been avoided up until this point, but this is when it actually starts to happen and occur, is when this decision is being made, because you're realigning to something that feels a little more truthful to you, even though it is difficult. So there could be some limiting thought patterns or cycles that you're breaking here as well. So it may not necessarily be with the person, especially when we talk about two things. It's like you have two perspectives, and then you come to this clarity and truth of the one. And that means you have to let go of this identity or this thing that you have had in your life for a period of time. And that's different. Self-regulation. Yeah, that's a tough one. And one more to end their reading. And the past. I don't see a lot of past energy cards coming through, but this could be about the past coming back to be healed and to be moved on from. And I did mention that with the World card, I believe, so that you can unstick yourself from something here. I think that I'm seeing a piece of gum on the ground and somebody stepping on that piece of gum and you wanting to move forward, but that gum is kind of keeping you held back, and you want to move forward but can't because you've got this piece of gum this is a really sticky piece of gum that's keeping you held back, and you're not able to move forward. But instead of just trying to rip yourself away or kind of resist the actual things that you need to do to release the gum, so like being really mindful about cutting it off the bottom of your shoe, then you're going to stay stuck in that loop. So I feel like the past is here to kind of be reevaluated, to be understood, and to be released. And the self-regulation card here, it's about really regulating the intense emotions that might come through. That doesn't mean to suppress them, but to really feel through them and let them move through you. And staying really grounded in this process as well. So being really emotionally honest might help with that grounding energy. And slow and steady really wins the race. This isn't a month to kind of speed through this, but it's really being honest with those emotions and not allowing them to take over, to overwhelm you, to run the show, but to feel them and allow them to move through you. So this is all I have for you, my dear Soul Path 3. I do hope that these were helpful. Let me know in the comments if they made sense for you. And until we meet again, stay curious, and I'll see you in your next reading.